Well, a lot of the strategies are the same strategies, which is the use of Russian official channels like RT and others to flood the information environment with false narratives, disinformation narratives. Increasingly, of course, we're seeing the use of AI, but in relatively unsophisticated ways, meaning it's the use of doppelgangers, impersonations, which we've seen before with so-called bots, but now we see AI taking on some of those basic functions. But I think the strategies have remained the same for a long time. It's just that new technologies have made Russian capabilities far more rapid and effective at really flooding the information environment. Well, I think there's an opportunity to use artificial intelligence to also debunk, or you could say pre-bunk, some of these narratives. So these technologies are dual use. We shouldn't really cede the way to authoritarian states like Russia to have the advantage in using these technologies in the information space. We can also use them. We can also use them to spread truthful information, to target certain audiences that the Russians also target, and to undermine and disrupt Russia's networks of disinformation, bots, and other AI. Ukraine's NATO membership is the only security guarantee, not just for Ukraine, but for all of Europe to have a future that is whole, free, and in peace. So this should be our number one priority. And I think at this point, Ukraine has a huge amount to offer to NATO countries in terms of battle-tested experience in fighting a major military force that presents a current and immediate threat to NATO. So step number one is we need to immediately extend an invitation, a real invitation for Ukraine to join NATO. And then to ensure that we follow up with specific steps for Ukraine to be part of the alliance. Well, war is unpredictable, and certainly a lot depends on what the West does in support of Ukraine. Ukrainians have shown that they're willing and also incredibly capable fighters. Do they face a real problem with quantity, meaning quantity of soldiers, quantity of weapons, quantity of ammunition? Yes. So if we realize at this moment that this war that Russia has launched in Ukraine is actually a war against the West, as the Russian government has said many, many times, and we ourselves come on a war footing just like Russia has done, then we could equip rapidly Ukrainian forces to be able to fight this war with the most sophisticated and capable weapons. And then, yes, they could take back their territories, including Crimea, and Russia would be delivered a strategic defeat. But the window for that, unfortunately, is closing because Russian forces have adapted and they are now working hand in glove with their allies and partners in authoritarian space, including very troubling reporting that North Korea has sent soldiers to fight on the front lines in Ukraine. I think we really need to pay attention to this, and if we're not willing to do the same, we're going to find ourselves on the losing side.